Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you so much for clicking on my YouTube channel and on my video. I appreciate you being here. Okay, we're jumping back into topics. Now, as you're aware, I'm currently moving, so I don't have all my equipment, but we are so back, so we're gonna film, even if I'm gonna film it out of my fucking microwave, which I actually do not have one yet. Okay, so I need to start immediately with this James Charles situation that is actually a little bit close to my heart, which bothers me even more. So James Charles has released a song or something. I think that's what that was. And he's been, posting all these videos of him like performing it for his friends and stuff. And he's basically trying to like launch this music career simultaneously with launching this painted makeup release that I've not seen anyone really talk about. And the thing is, he's currently trying to rebrand. And he's, doing like a press run. He's trying to get people so on board with this new version and new image of him. But one thing we need to keep in mind is that James Charles sat his ass down on YouTube and admitted that he was engaging in inappropriate conversations with minors. Remember whenever he made that video, Holding Myself Accountable, where he sat down and admitted that at least 2 of them have happened, and we're aware of how many countless people have came forward. But we don't need to focus on all, right? Because people like to be like, well, how do you know they're not validated or whatever? Okay, like there's no proof, there's never been confirmations that people, never talked about it again. Okay, even if we want to say that, which is really victim blaming, but I'll let you have that. James Charles still sat his ass down and admitted that 2 of them were true. So that's all we need. 1, 2, that's enough. The amount of times that we've seen people come forward, specifically really young gay people, or actually young straight people, he really doesn't have a preference, come forward with James Charles sliding into their DMs or just being weird, or I just am so over it. We've talked about it, and he went on the Sophia with an F podcast. Now, the reason this is close to my heart is because which is like actually went on the Sophia with an F podcast.
Really up north. Everyone knows everybody.
This is the proof that I went on it.
I mean, ironic considering everything that's going on right now, the amount of people that are
You'll see Sophia in a second.
My school, or people that I've worked with.
God, I miss my earrings.
Apprenticeships with.
I let my ears close over. I miss those earrings so much. I wore them to death.
To get out of because it was,
okay, wait.
I don't want to.
Here's proof that I'm not just talking to myself. There you go. So I went on the Sophia with an F podcast, and she was lovely. The other person that was working for her, Alex, I adore. Really nice people. They were very easy to, they made me feel very comfortable. They were very professional. They got me a little Red Bull, which I loved. Thank you, Alex. I'll always remember you for that. I really liked my time with them. They took great care of me, and I will always be very appreciative of Sophia with an F, Sophia Franklin, and Alex as well. But I'm really disappointed in this. I'm aware that on a podcast you like a little bit of controversy, you like a little bit of conversation, but the problem with this is they've just pissed off their audience. I mean, 700 likes to 2.2 thousand dislikes, and keep in mind, I have the dislikes and likes on YouTube so I can see them. For the day-to-day person, you can't even see the number anymore. So this is people that are just really pissed off. And then also, not to be that person, but it's a lot of controversy for 24,000 views when Sophia Franklin's podcasts normally perform a lot better. Like, for example, the one I went on has, you can't really see, but it has 157,000 views, and her other podcasts range from 100,000 views plus. So this is really, I don't understand why this is a thing, because it kind of has more negatives than pros, which is why I don't understand why people will ever go on the hill of James Charles. And yeah, you can say having someone on as a podcast guest does not mean you're endorsing them. What does mean you're endorsing them, or at least being something to do with this, is that this is called James Charles accountability is one of the first things. I am not watching this entire thing. I've not even seen clips of this. I've seen people talking about it, I've seen clips, and I've seen angry tweets. So I was like, I'm not going to watch this full thing. Luckily, thank you so much, Sophia with an F, she has it kind of timestamped here. So I have being lied to and accountability is a topic. and healing an inner peace. So let's hear it. I'm really disappointed. I think this was such a shitty decision. I think this was a shitty move. I think this kind of just taints the podcast now. And again, hate to say that, I loved being on it. They were great, very nice. And what was the reason? But let's hear what's happened. Let's hear what James has to say.
Place. It took me a long time to heal and get over and get through everything, but it's something that I will.
Pausing immediately. It took him years of healing to get over what happened. You are not the victim. Wake up. You are not the victim. You put people in situations where they can be deemed the victim. You're literally what the fuck? I'm so over when people get called out for things and then they speak about it and it's how they got over it. We really don't give a fuck. We really don't give a fuck. You were messaging children. We really don't give a fuck.
Will never forget about, and
neither will the kids.
Have had to live with, but it's been such a blessing in disguise, truly. To
what the fuck? What the fuck do you mean? It was a blessing in disguise that people were calling me a child predator. It was a blessing in disguise. I was being called out for being a groomer. It was a bless the fucking Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm so blessed that that happened to me. Because you know what? I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I was exposed for being a groomer. I'm blessed that people were calling me a child predator. I'm blessed. What the fuck do you mean? Sorry, I'm getting really angry, but what the fuck do you mean?
To teach me so many valuable life lessons about.
Then why were you still doing it after you made all those videos talking about it? Riddle me that one.
Love, about business, about just my own personal safety and protection. And it was,
What about the kids?
a thing to go through.
It was a shitty thing to go through. You just said it was a blessing. Motherfucker, what was it? Well, yes, what was it? It was a shitty thing to go through. You being exposed? Please.
But I'm really proud of, the mental progress that I've made. And I do like to believe that everything happens for a reason, because I think that you could drive yourself crazy by believing otherwise.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm good.
That's good.
You can drive yourself crazy by thinking otherwise. What is the otherwise? What is the otherwise? What the fuck? We have become so normalized. It's become so normalized in society, specifically with online creation, for creators to be exposed for being bad people, that we're so used to creators talking about what they've learned from situations that they put themselves in.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate that, actually.
Of course. I do want to bring up a quote from Cosmo.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it said, when I polled friends and colleagues about Charles, so this is from the writer.
Yes.
In the run-up to this day, the general consensus was that he had done something bad.
Oh, Sophia is referencing the Cosmopolitan article, that bullshit article that painted James in such a lovely way after he was exposed for all these things. So that's an interesting article to reference, Sophia, because I think that's the only article ever written about James Charles that doesn't drill into him. So yeah, let's quote that one. Let's quote that interview.
But no one was clear on exactly what.
Yeah.
James Charles was exposed for things, but we don't exactly know what. Yes, we fucking do. It takes a little bit of looking into it, but we can do that. We can do that. So much was exposed about James that you don't even fucking need to look into it.
I think that's a very, very profound and important quote from the article. But what do you think they meant
Nothing important in that article, please.
by that?
I think that.
What do you think?
I grew up in a time on YouTube where we are used to sharing every single aspects of our lives. And, ever since day one, I have made a lot of mistakes growing up. I've had a lot of great moments, a lot of bad moments, a lot of embarrassing moments, and that's all documented online. And you know,
The bad moments were not documented by you online. It was you doing things to people and them documenting it online. That's the difference. But we're not going to forget that. I think it's hypocritical. I think it's hypocritical, honestly. I'm really disappointed in Sophia. We're not friends. We're not close. We're not whatever. When I was doing the podcast again, like I said, she was really nice to me. But I think it's incredibly hypocritical to have me on for, I'm trying not to make this about myself here, but like I'm speaking from like personal experience. I think it's incredibly hypocritical to have me on for an hour talking about a creepy YouTuber and then have James Charles come on and be like, what have you learned from being a creep? That's like having Colleen Ballinger on. You would get out of life for that too. Like, if you're even gonna have him on, just ignore this topic then, because there's no way that, like, ugh.
as YouTubers, we didn't have publicists, we didn't have PR teams.
Yeah, but we also weren't all trying to reach out to kids for, like, nudes or sending them ass pics and shit. I can speak for most YouTubers that don't do that, or just most normal people, James.
When we did something bad, we were taught that the appropriate response is to get on camera and have an open and honest conversation with the people that gave us.
So why did it take you so many years to do that, and then you ended up deleting it, the video that you acknowledged that you did message these people? Why'd you end up deleting that video if you're taught to do that?
The platforms in the first place.
Right.
And although some of my apology things in the past have become memes or videos that people have laughed at, which I can understand why.
Because they're so bad.
I will say, anytime that I've ever fucked up, I've gotten online and I've always been honest. I don't send.
Not true. Literally not true. Why have you deleted the holding myself accountable video then, in which you acknowledged that you were messaging children? Why have you deleted that video from the internet? You're flat out lying here. And I wish if you're going to have this conversation that Sophia will rebuttal it with the truth.
Cease and desist letters or stay silent or threaten legal action, which is what nowadays, you know, all PR teams have people do.
Right.
And I think that when I
Yeah, James, that's a very great statement to make, that nowadays people will just threaten legal or cease and desist. Yeah, so any children out there that may get a DM from him, that's what'll happen next time.
realized that I fucked up, like I had mentioned, I wanted to get online and have a conversation.
Why'd you delete it?
Apologize for what I did do, which is that when I was 21, I had conversations with two guys that told me they were 18, and after
Okay, but you've deleted that video in which you apologize. You've deleted that video.
about an hour-long convo, I realized that they were lying, and I blocked them, and that was it. One of the guys
But then why do we have such a tendency of so many other people speaking out, and we have you on the record saying that you use your TikTok For You page like a dating app?
in the Cosmopolitan article that you mentioned literally admitted now years later that he did lie and that he wished he never did in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think that when that got posted, somebody will post a video that'll quickly get turned into a viral tweet, a TikTok
Or
little
one little
snippet, one little
clip.
clip from here or there, or an Instagram story. And, you know, on social media, we all know that the most interesting or the most exaggerated or the craziest content is what's going to go viral. So
Well, sometimes messaging kids is the craziest material, and it ends up going viral because it's crazy. Da-da-da. Well, yes.
apologize for something that I did do and that I recognized was wrong, which was not checking IDs and not taking proper precautions with the people that I was having
Who
conversations
remembers the DM he sent someone recently and it was like, age check?
with. And I will forever admit that and be embarrassed by that and own that. But
The video you're referencing in which you've taken accountability is deleted. Deleted!
it just got so twisted into all sorts of crazy words and accusations and stories that literally
Because your words were crazy.
just did not happen. And I think that because I posted an apology, it turned into, oh, James Charles apologized for what was said in this tweet, or James Charles apologized for what was said in this video. But that's not what it was.
Well, it's crazy.
So James basically just said, yeah, I sat my ass down and apologized for messaging children, but I don't apologize for my racist tweets. Why bring that up?
The whole apology video thing, and I've done a few of them, they bite you in the ass, which that's so backwards, right?
Yeah.
Like it should be a good thing, but the video will never be good enough. They weren't sad enough. They weren't remorseful enough. They didn't.
That's actually not true. The video depends on the severity of the action they're being called out for, and we haven't really seen that many good ones, so...
say that, you know what I mean?
I think it's such like a tricky topic. Like I think that when you do fuck up, like you need to show remorse and that you're sorry and own what you did.
Yeah.
But I think
Bare
that like
minimum.
the only way to truthfully do that is over time through action. That's it. Like I
That's
think that you
great.
need to show an apology rather than say an apology
Actions
it's-
speak louder than words.
every time. Every single time. So I think like it's just a tricky road to go down because there's never anything that you can truly say to fix it. I think you have to prove that you're sorry and realize what you did was wrong over time. And
I
I'm
li- I
glad that
like
I've been able to do that over the last couple of years.
Yeah. So for real, last question, because it has more to do with me. Is basic.
Go ahead.
I didn't realize how crazy that sounded until after it came out of my mouth, but I kind of love it. Is the idea of anchoring bias. Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't.
Don't know, don't care. All right. With any creator that gets called out for something and they go on like a press tour of being the victim, it's annoying, specifically when it's James Charles, who has held a moral high ground for all of his friends, but it never applies to him. And again, being able to reference the very cleverly made Cosmo article actually doesn't help your favor because we're aware of how bad that article is. Let me know your opinion on this. We'll talk about it down below. Womp womp, womp womp. Boo! Bye.